they don't. So
I think Motel 6 claims they are that. Did you check into that?
Yeah, I sure did.
What's this? I hear you have a recent injury this spring?
Yeah, I ran across the United States in 2005 from Oceanside, California to Virginia Beach, 2,900 miles in 105 days, average 27.5 miles a day. Then, recently in January 15th, I took off from Jacksonville, Florida, and ran through Florida and just over the border of Alabama, and I hurt my ankle, sprained it, and I overcompensated with my right foot and got something called plantar fasciitis.
Fasciitis?
Yeah, it's a real nasty injury. Yeah. I still have it. And,
did you get the injections?
I ran across nearly 600 miles with plantar fasciitis, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I got halfway across the United States the second time, finished halfway across Texas, and I had to quit because of the injury. Got back home, got the shots, and got on some treatment, and yeah, those were fun.
I know.
But you got to do what you got to do. And,
yeah.
So I got to start all over again. In December 15th, 2011, I'm going to take off from Myrtle Beach and start all over again.
You're kidding. You aren't going to resume from where you left off. You're going to start fresh.
Well, there is a rule book on this, and they've been keeping track since the first guy did it in 1908. And it has to be continuous footsteps, and the day you start, the days count. So if you take a day off, it still counts as the day, and it really hurts your miles overall. Yeah. So if I want to start back over again, it's not like I have to. I want to. Like you said, this is an adventure. This is fun. And
you can't convince me of that. There ain't no way, honey.
Fun. I'm hooked on it now.
Laura and Bruce, he was wired with like a phone. Tell the folks what you had on your most recent run. We could go to the website of Community Crisis Center and listen to you.
You could always call me because I'd run right along and talk to you while I was on the phone.
That's
Plus
great.
I had something really great called Cinchcast. You could, all I have to do is go ahead and punch Cinch on my phone. I got it on my contact list. And it'll say Cinchcast, record when ready, and then it'll beep, and then I can go ahead and say, wow, a hood just fell off a car and almost hit me, and it'll go right to my website, and all you have to do is push play, and you get to hear my voice. So it's real time, and you get some of the emotion at the moment. So the Crisis Center set all that up on my website. And,
how cool is that?
You can do that for your walks, Laura.
Can we, for my row at East Bank.
And it's a great way to keep record, and it's always there. It doesn't erase, so you can go back, take notes.
How do you get your hands on this thing?
I don't know.
I think Sarah Evans knew about that in town. Community Crisis, she worked with that.
And Steve
She's the
Munson
social
and
media
Ruth
person.
Munson and
Yeah.
Olivia Munson set all that up. Yeah.
Good modern day stuff.
Yeah.
Couldn't replace us on the air.
I was going to say we couldn't do Cinchcast on the air, could we? Because you know what, everybody in media that I know in Chicago and around, around, is encouraging me to do live streaming. Like we're live on the computer for my friends in Afghanistan who can't be with us.
Say hello to them.
Yes, exactly. But they want to see me live video, so they have suggested Skype.
Yeah.
Which we could Skype.
Which has been around for a while, yeah. We know Skype.
But we need to like hook the YouTube camera up to my laptop or something.
Ustream is a free one.
Yeah, Ustream is.
We got to figure something out because I have a lot of people asking that. They want to see the guests. They want to see what we're up to. They want to see what Jeff Myers looks like.
Oh, I'm sure that's high on the list.
Well, you would be surprised. Oh. You would be surprised. There's a coterie of fans that you have of a certain age. But we have assured them that you
12-year-olds, hello. I'm strong with 12
people.
and 72-year-olds. I've always been, that's a radio demographics.
So listen, I would join you for a segment, but I would have to wait till after I get my new knee. And
let's compare our total miles now. This is where folks are charting at home and on YouTube as well, Kyle. Now, you walked how far?
I've walked over 25,000 miles since January 1st of 03. That's what I meant when I said we had something in common. You do it continuous in one whop, one whack, whatever you want to.
Or steps, he calls them.
One lump sum there.
Right.
And
That's
I did mine.
incredible.
I average 5 to 8 miles a day since January 1st of 2003. I wear my step counter. I keep a record every day of my steps, miles, and I did it also with a handicap. That's another thing that drew me to your story, because I wanted you to tell us about your initial injury, but I also had a handicap where my right knee was at a 45-degree angle. Last summer I got a new, a knee replacement, and now I have to get the left one replaced. That's why I said I could do like a segment with you. But I think I'd have to ride along in a golf cart or something, because I need shade, I need ice water, I need a
that is
fan.
incredible.
But 5 to 8 miles a day,
25,000
miles
since
since
2003.
And what's your What's your
Yes.
running number, Bruce?
I've been running for 32 years, and I'm 2,000 miles short
Oh.
of 25,000
No
miles.
way!
So
You
that's
lie! How did I
incredible.
beat you? And I'm walking.
Step by
Hear
step,
that,
I think.
folks?
Yeah.
Step by step.
Slowly I turn, inch by inch. All
Is this
right.
the tortoise and the hare?
I don't know who this is. Who is that? Edgar Allan Poe?
No, that Stooge is the only one I know.
Oh, that's right. I knew I was familiar. Thank you. Yes. So tell me that again. Boost my ego, because I need ego
That's
boosting today.
incredible.
25,000 miles. Yes, walking.
Since 2003 you did.
Yes, sir. January 1st of 2003,
And it
and I
took me
average 5 to 8 miles a day.
32 years to get 23,000 miles.
That's
So
great.
who's smarter here, the
Well,
tortoise or the hare?
Now you've got a great Chicago story. Tell her what you carried through Chicago.
Oh, that was my next
Oh, was it?
question.
Oh, darn
No,
it.
that's okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I fell off a roof and broke my back and was in a body cast for 4 months and crushed 4 vertebrae, ribs, collarbone. And the first thing I asked when I woke up, I
Where's
said,
my
well, am I going to
running
run
shoes?
again? You know, yeah. And
Yeah.
the doctor said, you're lucky you're going to be able to walk. We need a mobile MRI just to see what you got going here. So I got out of the hospital, a body cast, and I said that I'm going to run my fastest marathon after that. I'm going to get out of this body cast, and I did. And Coca-Cola was having a contest at the time looking for people to run with the Olympic torch, but you had to have an inspiring story. Well, they heard my story and called me up one night and said, Bruce, we heard your story and we would like you to run with the 100th anniversary Olympic torch for the Atlanta Games in Chicago. So they recorded my response, and it was quite the honor. So I still have the torch today.
You got to keep it?
Yeah, I got to keep the torch.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps.
$250 donation to the Olympic Committee. You got to run with keep the
Great.
torch you ran
Oh,
with.
cool.
I got
Seems
a nice
great.
plaque, and
Where's your torch?
it's hanging up with all my marathon medals on the wall.
I cannot wrap my mind around 26.2. I could do 5 to 8 average, but to do 26.2 all at once, even walking, that's a tough one for me to swallow. However, in 1988, I was the last person to complete the real Chicago Triathlon in 4 hours and 51 minutes.
It's great.
Wow.
So I do have that experience.
You are incredible.
But I'm sure, how long does it take a walker to average to do 26.2? Like you would be in, and you guys would be having cocktails by the
Utah.
time I
I
show
mean,
up.
you could walk a mile in 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. But
so,
can I
mean,
to sustain that
quicker,
pace?
You know what I mean? So 15 minutes would be a good, so 4 miles an hour times 6,
Wow.
7,
She could walk 4 miles during the show
and
next
then it
week.
depends, you know. Shoulder,
Maybe we could do that, my dear.
Funny.
traffic, cars,
Cinch cast.
shoulder.
Yeah, that's right.
And where did you walk yours? I mean, did you walk?
You know what? I walked around Chicago. I live downtown Chicago, so I did my basic 5-miler from my house and around Chicago and the Gold Coast, and then I got another between 5 and 8 miles in a second walk in the afternoon with my dogs.
So
but
basically in the same
Oh yeah, and we have a
25,
home.
you got a rut in the sidewalk? where you-
Kinda, but I gotta tell you
Shoot.
something, if I varied that walk by 2 minutes, leaving the house 2
You'd
minutes
know
either
it.
way, different people on their way to work. And I have a doggy clothing company called Snob Hounds, and that's why it was born, because I had to figure out how to keep my 2 little Italian greyhounds warm, dry, cool, comfy. Shameless plug for Snob Hounds. But I can keep them warm to 20 degrees with different combinations of clothes, and I can keep them UV protected and cool to 95 degrees, and that's why, because I couldn't do it by myself, so I enlisted their help. Everybody, I wish you guys, especially Mike and Jeff and Kyle, okay, all of you, and you
Oh,
too, because
thanks.
since you're I wish you
If we
guys
must.
could come to Chicago and just take that walk with me and the dogs, and just walk about 5 or 6 feet behind us, and you will not believe the amount of people that come up to us and say, oh my God, where have you been? We've missed you. Oh my God, we thought you moved away, or something like that. You know what I mean? I would see people every day. In fact, I think her name is Pam-Jones. She's a program director of NBC5. Pam Oliver. She came up to us one day and she said, you know, every day that I see you puts a smile on my face for the entire day when I see you and your dogs out walking. Thank you, because I could be having a crappy
And you
day.
say, would you feature me today in the 4:30 news?
I've been working on it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a motivational minute with Laura, but
Oh, wow.
so far, you know, we had to buck some tides over there. So anyway, I've got to ask you something. When you're on the road, you do how many miles per day? Minimum of 26?
I averaged 27 and a half last time, so I ended up getting up to 35 miles.
I was going to say, could you do
and
more
then
if
you
you...
averaged it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when I started out, I was doing 26 miles in 8 hours, and then at the end, I was doing 33 miles in 8 hours.
Ah.
You know, so you just...
That's encouraging.
Yeah, you pick it
Yeah.
up, and you know, you get into a groove, and you actually get in better shape as you go. So what I did for training on this is not, you know, you don't run 3,000 miles to go run 3,000 miles. So what I did was your legs have got to take you. So the legs have got to be strong. So I went to the health club for 2 months before I left, and I just worked my legs out, every muscle in them, and I felt
weights and whatnot?
fantastic. Yes, weights, and pretty much laid off the running. Because running, I already know how. If you run 25,000 miles, you already know. So if you get out of breath, you stop. It's not a race.
Yeah.
Your heart starts beating, you know, you starts beating fast, you stop. It's the legs, though, that got to carry you that distance no matter what.
The legs
so
and your
they
butt,
have to be
your butt
strong.
muscles, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
you
back.
work those out, and you actually get in better shape as you go.
Where did you know, give me a little bit more specifics on your workouts when you're not doing what do you do every day for cardio?
I'm a roofing contractor for 32 years, so I carry up shingles up a ladder for 8 hours a day.
Oh my
And then when I
God.
get off,
Say no more.
then I start thinking about, okay, how far do I want to run now? You know. So,
Away
Do
from
you
the
run every day?
no, I don't run every
How many
day.
days a week?
I don't put it down to a days per week. I like to keep it fun. When I don't want it, when I'm too tired, I don't force myself to do it. That's why it always stays fun for me. You know.
Aren't you curtailed right now, Bruce, because of that injury? Weren't you taken off your feet for a while?
Absolutely. I couldn't even walk once I got back with this injury, you know, and I'd seen all the doctors, and now I'm up to doing 10 miles, you know, consecutive days, no problem. But I'm still not 100% yet, but I will be the next time I take off.
As Laura knows, you were telling the kids at the Foxtrot that you didn't have a good pair of shoes
Yeah,
in your runs. Is that
I
right?
changed shoes. I used to run in New Balance, and I changed to Nike, and they weren't for me. And
Me
I didn't
either.
realize
Me
it,
either,
especially with an injury.
Thank you.
So shoes are huge.
Thank you.
Huge.
I tell everybody, one of the biggest things that I tell people when they come to Elgin's Biggest Loser, or anybody that asks me, or anybody that I work with on a consulting coaching basis, number one of the most top 5 things is buy the best pair of walking,
Absolutely.
running shoes you can afford.
Yep.
Because I have a couple of EBLs now, one in particular that's trying to convince me that she can do cardio walking in Crocs. And then she's complaining about her back and her ankle and her foot and her knee and her hip and her this and her that and her the other thing. But then in her next breath says she can't afford to buy herself a good pair of walking shoes. But you got to make that investment in yourself.
You better believe
As
it. Yeah.
as Bruce,
Yeah.
who's the maven over here, is telling us.
Yep.
It's and Nikes aren't for me either. And I always thought it was me.
Listen to us out there. Don't learn the hard way like I did.
I wear, you know what I wear is Brooks. I've been Brooks since the
I
beginning
started
for me.
with Brooks.
Yeah.
Brooks Beast. Yeah.
Brooks Beast, and Brooks Beast is
Yeah.
the number one for people who are bigger,
Yeah.
who need motion control, who
Absolutely.
need more cushion. Brooks Beast, and the women's model is called Brooks Ariel, and I wish they would be one of my corporate sponsors because I am the Brooks poster child. I walked 25,000 miles in those
Very
shoes.
short amount of time.
Shouldn't they?
That's key.
You're
That's
jealous,
very-
aren't you?
I am jealous.
Thank you.
You have to start over, Bruce.
God, and I was jealous of him this whole time.
Bruce, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Your original injury you had when you were in the body cast, did you do that as a roofer?
Yes.
How
I
many-
fell off
how
the roof
far?
backwards, about a story and a half. I landed on my head.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I
That
don't
explains
remember
it.
it.
Oh.
To this day, I don't remember it.
You don't
So,
remember it. And you went
Seriously?
It shows.
Yeah, it does. I'm
And
gonna
it
tell
was
you.
right. You were right around Judson University, a house right there, weren't you,
Yeah, it was
Bruce?
behind Judson College. The lady comes out, she said she heard a thump, and I was flopping around on the ground like a fish, and I don't remember none of it.
Wow.
Then all of a sudden I stood straight up, and then I don't remember anything again until I was in the ambulance.
How long ago was that, year-wise? Did they tell you? Is that
It was
10
a year
years ago?
before the 1996 Olympics.
Oh, that's
so
the Atlanta Games, 95. Okay, that's right.
95.
You were a
Bless
young man
your
then, I remember
heart.
that.
a young man,
Yeah,
luckily.
you still are.
All right.
Listen, we need to thank our sponsors here.
Yeah, we do.
And Snobhounds Canine Environmental Protection Wear, disguised as Canine Couture, snobhounds.com. And we'd also like to thank Casey Tool, a weekly sponsor of ours too, available through Snap-on Mobile Tool Distributors.